So I will start in, let's say, different way than usual. So everybody's saying about to working from home. I'm working from the car, as you see at this point. No worry, I'm not driving right now. I just stepped by just to say hello. And of course, in a few minutes, I will be at my home, so I will start to be much more active here. But it's not about me. It's all about Simon Coter, our special guest today. And Simon decided to speak today with us about what's new in the Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager 3.3. So Simon, thank you to having you here again.
Yeah, thank you, Paweł. It's my pleasure, you know.
Simon is our OVP expert, but what is more important in Oracle, he's doing a brilliant job from the virtualization point of view, not only in the OLVM project, so Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager, but also in the VirtualBox and the Oracle VM. Last webinar we have about the VirtualBox. Today it's time to talk about the OLVM. So we'll, of course, concentrate what's new, but I also think it's a good idea, Simon, to tell why the Oracle actually are in the projects like such as Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. So yeah. I think the stage is yours, Simon. I'm going on mute, disable the video, and I will see you in 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Paweł.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so as you understood, my name is Simon Coter. I'm senior manager in the product management team of for Oracle Linux and Virtualization at Oracle. So, and just to give you a quick or a briefing overview of myself, I joined the company. I joined Oracle 16 years ago. I had been a consultant for 11 years at Oracle, working on different Oracle products, starting from the Oracle database, arriving to applications, and obviously also Linux and virtualization. And around 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to join the product management team for Linux and virtualization, and over there my new job started. So today I'm responsible for both the Oracle Linux as well as the virtualization for x86 solutions that we have at Oracle, and obviously, when we say virtualization, like Paweł was saying, we have server virtualization solutions like Oracle VM or Oracle Linux KVM with Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager, as well as VirtualBox as our top class desktop virtualization solution. So today I'm going to give you a quick overview of Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager 4.3. It's a release that we just announced last month. It's not the first one. So we have to say that we started to work on the oVirt open source project more than a couple of years ago. And last year in June, so June 2019, we announced the first Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager release that was based on oVirt 4.2. And while today I'm going to give you an overview of what we have there. So it's generally available also now with Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager 4.3 release. This is our standard safe harbor statement. Obviously, it could be that maybe I'll talk of something that can happen in the next future or can happen in the future, but it's important to know that there is no commitment to deliver on what I'm going to talk for the next future, right? Let's start from a quick overview related to the Oracle Linux virtualization solution. So in a virtualization solution, as you know, we have the compute side and the management side of the solution at the end. On the compute side, we have today Oracle Linux KVM. Oracle Linux KVM relies on Oracle Linux 7 release with the Unbreakable Enterprise Kernel release 5, so UEK release 5. And for people that maybe do not know what UEK is, it's the kernel that Oracle build. It's the kernel that Oracle develops. And it's the kernel where we address all the requirements coming at Oracle internally, because we are also one of the first consumers of the same Oracle Linux. And when I say internally, it's important to know that this is the kernel that today is also leveraged by the Oracle Cloud, as well as Oracle engineering systems like the Exadata. And at the same time here, or this one is the kernel where we address all the possible requirements coming from our customers. Requirements that could be to have a particular feature enabled, or could be to have a particular driver updated. So this is the kernel where we develop all those kind of requirements that we have. And this is related to the compute side of the solution. While moving to the management side of the solution, again, we have Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager is based on oVirt. And when I say it's based, it means that we build our Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager starting from oVirt. That said, it's important to know that we do not fork. So our solution does not strip away or add other features into the same solution. And we expose the same web services API that are there on oVirt. So there is, at the end, no technical difference between what is there on oVirt and what is available on Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. With Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager, and now I continue to name it OLVM because it's much faster. So on OLVM, we also have the option to have hard partitioning. Hard partitioning is the opportunity to get your VMs pinned on the physical cores, and while you have Oracle products running on top, pay the licenses for the Oracle product running on top only for the CPUs used by the VM. The hard partitioning policy is a policy today available only for Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager and Oracle Linux KVM. It's also available for Oracle VM Server, obviously. Yeah, the important thing to know is that we do not just build Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. We have our engineering team working on it. We have our quality assurance and quality engineering teams testing the solution. So before releasing OLVM, we always execute a huge list of tests on the same. And based on the huge list of tests, we decide to possibly have a GA release or to possibly wait for the same GA release, because obviously we always want to get something reliable and production ready for our customers.
So Simon, just about coming back to the hard partitioning. So it means that we can today take the Oracle VM or the OLVM and get, let's say, the advantage of using only or paying the vCPUs here. Is for all of the workloads from the Oracle.
Yeah, let's do an example. Suppose that I have an Oracle database, and for this Oracle database service, I need 8 virtual CPUs. If you run the Oracle database or any other x86 virtualization solutions based on the Oracle policies, you will be required that you pay for the Oracle database licenses for all the CPUs that you have on the physical server. With OLVM, you have the option to apply the hard partitioning, and we have documentation dedicated to this on the VM, and so get the VM pinned on cores following rules that we have in place. And with those rules in place, you will have the opportunity to pay only the 8 virtual CPUs for the Oracle database license, right? So this is
okay.
This kind of thing means that a huge saving, if you want, in terms of licensing of Oracle products running on top. That said, if we talk of the Oracle Linux KVM and Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager solution, we do not have any license. So with Oracle Linux and OLVM, first of all, the entire software, the entire solution is publicly available for free. The entire solution can be updated for free. So all the RPMs, all the updates for both Oracle Linux KVM, Oracle Linux 7, as well as Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager are available for free. You can just connect to yum.oracle.com, and over there you can download ISO, you can download updates for any Linux distribution and for any Linux component, like for example, Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. Optionally,
Okay, thank you.
optionally, you can get the support for Oracle Linux. It's optional. Obviously, strongly suggest it if you are going to run production environments, because in case of issue, at that point, you can get in touch with us to get those sorted out as fast as possible. And the subscription for Oracle Linux, if you get the Oracle Linux Premier support, it's per physical server. So it does not matter how many VMs you are going to run or how many Oracle Linux VMs you are going to create. The subscription is per physical server, right? And it's a fixed price per physical server. And on top of the physical server, you can run and create hundreds or thousands of Oracle Linux VMs. There's no issue. All of them are included into the Oracle Linux Premier Support subscription. So one unique subscription per physical server that includes everything, all the possible options around Oracle Linux.
Simon, question. We have a question. How many times you planning to have the releases? Let's say for 2020. Let's say every month. Let's say 3 months, 6 months. The average, of course, not exactly because it's hard to say.
The average of, I didn't get.
The average of the new releases.
Yeah, now what we have on our plans is to target a possible maintenance release for 4.3. And following that one, the next target is obviously to build and to have our own 4.4 release. Today, yeah, as you maybe already know, the oVirt community is working. Today, the oVirt community is really working on 2 different threads. One of them is related to 4.3, where we already had, if I'm not wrong, the second 4.3.10 beta release or candidate release, but at the same time we have an alpha release dedicated to 4.4. So our plans are to keep our own release as near as possible to the community one, and mostly when a new major release is going to come out. Yeah, that said, obviously, again, before releasing our own build, we always want to verify and test different things, but we also think that in the time, those tests will be even faster, just because on each life cycle for OLVM, we are going to introduce more automated tests for the same. So this kind of thing will help us to be even faster to possibly test the build or the new build for OLVM. Yeah, I can see another question. It's related to the subscription cost for Azure. For Oracle Linux. Yeah, while talking of third-party cloud, like Azure, like AWS, like others, we have dedicated rules for the cloud. Now, I do not remember all the possible details related to Azure, but I remember that you have a support subscription per virtual CPUs based. So this is I know that there's this kind of policy in place for third-party cloud vendors. The important thing to know is that on Oracle Cloud, there's no support subscription for Oracle Linux. So you can leverage and use Oracle Linux for free on the Oracle Cloud, and also get the support for free on the Oracle Cloud while using Oracle Linux. Yeah, so, and just to give you another overview of the history, again, we started more than a couple of years ago to work on oVirt and OLVM, and we started to work on this just because our customers were looking for an enterprise KVM management solution. KVM was, even 3 years ago, KVM was a supported hypervisor on top of Oracle Linux, but all our customers were looking and were asking us to get a solution, an enterprise KVM management solution, able to manage more hypervisors at the same time, and then as well as manage storage and networking, and also a cloud-ready solution. So a solution where you can have different roles on the same interface, where you can have the cloud administrator and the cloud user, or the cloud consumer. So the user that at the end can only create VMs, stop and start VMs, and that's all, based also on quota or the number of resources that the user has available. Yeah, moving ahead. So again, we introduced the OLVM 4.3. The important thing to know here, for example, on yam.oracle.com, you can see the two repositories dedicated to OLVM 4.3 release. The other important thing that I want to mention is that we also have our own documentation team. They're doing a really great job. So we today have a full documentation library dedicated to Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. Our target is also to improve release by release the documentation that we have in place for Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. Yeah, so here we have the list of features that where we introduced the support for OLVM 4.3, or that today are available with OLVM 4.3, because some of them were also available with the previous 4.2 release. Between them, obviously, we have the snapshot capability and role-based access. Those were there also with the 4.2 release. With 4.3, we introduced the option to run the self-hosted engine. So, run the engine and the management solution. So run the management solution on top of the cluster, on top of the KVM cluster that it's managing. We introduced the support for the Gluster integration. Gluster is, for example, another option available with Oracle Linux Premier support. We have our own Gluster release 6. And now with OLVM 4.3, we also have the integration between KVM, OLVM, and Gluster. We introduced the support for the oVirt V2B utility. oVirt V2B is a great utility if you're going to approach, for example, migration from other hypervisors to Oracle Linux KVM or Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. We introduced the support for Oracle Linux 8 release, as well as SUSE Enterprise 12 and 15. So SUSE is one of our partners. We work with them. And together we got certified both release 12 and release 15 of SUSE Enterprise Linux. We introduced the support for the Oracle Database 12c release 1 and 18c. 19c was already available with OLVM 4.2. And obviously into the OLVM 4.3 release, we also have all the bug fixes and all the enhancements that the community built and developed on oVirt 4.3. At the same time, obviously, it's important to know that when we have our own build, when we have our own OLVM release, we do not strip away any kind of features. So all the features continue to be there. If those are not supported, it means that our tests indicated that maybe something has to be fixed before supporting those, just because maybe those are not really production ready. That does not mean that the quality of the code is not good. It means that there are maybe some corner cases that could create issues on the production environment. So we do not strip away any kind of feature, but at the same time, all the features are there and can be used. Yeah, and now I want to mention one important thing related to the compute side of the solution. On Oracle Linux KVM, we think that we have an enhanced KVM support. So first of all, we have very updated releases for both QEMU and libvirt. As you can see, we have QEMU 3.1 and libvirt 5.7, part of Oracle Linux KVM with Oracle Linux 7. And the important thing to know is that on the compute, we have important components related to the KVM hypervisor. We have the kernel, and again, here we are using UEK5. We have user space utilities or user space stuff dedicated to the KVM hypervisor, like QEMU and libvirt. On those three components, today, my team dedicated to the Oracle Linux KVM or Oracle Linux works in a collaborative way with other teams at Oracle. So the same Oracle Linux KVM that is available today with this solution and that can be installed on commodity hardware on any x86 system is the same KVM that we also leverage on engineering systems like Exadata, and it's the same KVM hypervisor that we also leverage on the Oracle Cloud as a cloud vendor. So if you think there's no other KVM today built with the same kind of experience or built with the same kind of requirements. If you think, this is my personal interpretation, but it's real. On Exadata, Exadata is the engineering system for the Oracle database. It's the fastest system where to run an Oracle database today. And over there, you have the option to run Oracle Linux KVM. On this kind of solution, we cannot fail in terms of performance. So over there, the KVM hypervisor cannot fail on performance. So we strictly work with the Exadata team, and we address all their requirements, all their feedback related to performance. And the same hypervisor is available for you today on-prem, on commodity hardware. We work with the Oracle Cloud team. And while working with the Oracle Cloud team, obviously, we have other requirements. Obviously, performance is still a requirement. It's also very important, but at the same time, we have other requirements. Other requirements like, for example, number of VMs, number of disks, amount of memory, number of CPUs, number of virtual CPUs. All of those requirements, again, are there into this Oracle Linux KVM, the same Oracle Linux KVM. And if you think to other enterprise Linux distribution, other enterprise Linux distribution are not leveraged by cloud vendors, are not leveraged by engineering systems. And if you think to other cloud vendors do not share their cloud hypervisor to get the same running on-prem on your own environment. So this is why I think that it's quite unique what we have there on the compute side with Oracle Linux KVM. Yeah, another important thing to remind related to the compute side as well as the management, we have Ksplice. Ksplice is an utility, again, part of the Oracle Linux Premier support that allows to install security fixes for the kernel, the hypervisor, like, for example, KVM or QEMU, as well as other user space packages like glibc and OpenSSL. So install security fixes on all of those components without rebooting your systems. And there is no limitation. So all the possible CVEs today are addressed with Ksplice. And Ksplice is another thing that, for example, we use on the Oracle Cloud, because we cannot reboot, or we cannot say to our cloud customers, hey, we have to reboot your system, we want to install security fixes. No. And Ksplice is another example of things that we have internally at Oracle for our own requirements that can really help to run your on-prem private cloud. Into Ksplice, lately we also addressed another feature named known exploit detection. So Ksplice is able to intercept any possible privilege escalation. So if you, for example, installed a security fix by Ksplice and someone tries to exploit the security hole addressed by this fix, you will receive an alert saying that someone tried to exploit the security hole that was there on your system. Okay, moving ahead. Yeah, here we have a quick solution overview. As you can see, we have OLVM that can manage Oracle Linux KVM server 7.6, 7.7, 7.update 8. And here we have the guest OS that today we support on top of Oracle Linux KVM. So from obviously the Enterprise Linux release 5, 6, and 7, SUSE Enterprise Linux 12 and 15, and all the main and today supported Windows desktop and server releases. Windows 2019 is also there with the OLVM 4.3. Yeah, before moving to the next concept, let me check questions that we have on the chat. Yeah, I'm going to deep dive on the hosted engine. Okay. Yeah, I think that I lost one slide. Yeah. Another thing we worked on is related to templates. So the option to automate the deployment of VMs on top of Oracle Linux KVM as well as OLVM. Some months ago, we built our first Oracle Linux 7 update 7 template. It's a ready-to-run VM with Oracle Linux 7.7 installed and ready to run. The cool option is that the template had been built based on the cloud init requirements that we have on OLVM. So it's a template 100% compatible with the cloud init options that you have on the OLVM web interface. And between them, so on the first boot, you have the option to define the VM hostname, the time zone, authentication, DNS, so the networking stuff, as well as execute a custom script. And while executing a custom script, you can even evaluate to possibly deploy your own application or install further packages, any kind of thing. So you can do really whatever you want while deploying your VM on top of Oracle Linux KVM and Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. We are going to see soon the Oracle Linux 7 Update 8 template. And we are also working on obviously on Oracle Linux 8 templates for Oracle Linux KVM. Another important thing to know is that Oracle Linux KVM is a solution obviously that you can run today on-prem, but at the same time, the same kind of solution can run also on the Oracle Cloud, right? So I can run the same hypervisor on the Oracle Cloud. I can also run Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager on the Oracle Cloud. And this kind of thing allows you, if you want to have one unique hybrid cloud hypervisor, because you can run the same solution on-prem and the same solution on cloud. You can think, for example, to run the production environment on-prem into your own data center, the development environment on the Oracle Cloud with the same solution, with the same things. You can even evaluate to, for example, to have OLVM running on-prem, managing your KVM instance running on the Oracle Cloud. No problem. Self-hosted engine. So one of the features where we introduced the support into OLVM 4.3. What does it mean? With the self-hosted engine, you have a machine, a virtual machine, running on the host managed by that engine. Obviously, the self-hosted engine is a virtual machine running on the same cluster, but it's not managed in the same way you are managing other VMs, right? So there are dedicated services on the KVM host that manage the high availability for the engine, so for your OLVM installation. So it's a particular VM running on your cluster managed by external services, and you also have a dedicated CLI to manage the self-hosted engine. And what does you get at the end with this kind of thing? First of all, you get the opportunity to avoid the requirement of another physical server or the requirement of another VM where to run the OLVM installation. First of all, and the second one is the availability. Automatically, if you have any kind of issue on the KVM host where your OLVM is running, the same OLVM virtual machine will be stopped and restarted on another KVM host. And at the same time, you also have the option to live migrate your hosted engine from one physical host to another one. For example, while doing maintenance or while applying any kind of update on your system. This kind of solution is based obviously on an appliance, and the appliance is part of the installation. On our Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager documentation, you can find all the steps on how to deploy the hosted manager. You have at the end two different options. One of them is to leverage Cockpit, so a web interface that allows you with a wizard to deploy the hosted engine, or by CLI, so by executing a hosted engine command on the KVM host. Yeah, the other important tool where we introduced the support is related to vIRT v2v. vIRT v2v again is another open source utility. It allows the automated migration or direct migration from another hypervisor to Oracle Linux KVM and OLVM. Other hypervisor could be Oracle VM or VMware. The cool option of this utility is that you have a direct copy of your VM from the source hypervisor to Oracle Linux KVM. And while copying the VM, this kind of utility is also able to install the drivers required within the VM to get the same booting on Oracle Linux KVM. So we are talking obviously of virtual drivers. Virtual drivers are there by default on a Linux installation. Virtual drivers are available from Oracle for Microsoft Windows VMs, and those drivers that we build for Oracle Linux KVM and Microsoft Windows on top of Oracle Linux KVM have been also certified by Microsoft. That means that you can run Microsoft Windows on top of Oracle Linux KVM supported by Microsoft. That said, this one is maybe the fastest migration procedure to move from other hypervisors to Oracle Linux KVM. Manual export and import by leveraging the open virtualization format is still there, so can be leveraged. And we also have partner solutions. Partner solution could be interesting when maybe you're going to migrate thousands and thousands of VMs, for example, from VMware to Oracle Linux KVM. Yeah, this is the what I said during the introduction. So we have a couple of documents dedicated to the hard partitioning. So the option to pay the Oracle licenses for Oracle products only for the CPUs used by your VM instead of paying the entire physical server. Yeah, another option that is there without OLVM is related to the possible integration with the Enterprise Manager. Enterprise Manager is an administration and management tool that we have at Oracle. It's dedicated to the Oracle products, starting from Oracle Linux or Oracle Linux KVM, Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager, arriving to Oracle Database, WebLogic, and even Oracle applications running on top. So you can really have a single glass of pane management dedicated to the entire management of your infrastructure, starting from the hypervisor, arriving to the application. And this kind of solution can be even interesting for customers today running Oracle VM, because the same solution can be integrated into Oracle VM. So you can have Enterprise Manager on the top, and then your Oracle VM pool or your Oracle VM infrastructure, your OLVM infrastructure, and Enterprise Manager can be used as the single point of monitoring of the entire infrastructure. Yeah. So one of the last things that I want to add is related to the support cost. Again, we do not have any kind of particular options. We have Oracle Linux Basic support and Oracle Linux Premier support. With the Oracle Linux Premier support, you have the support for everything that we today build for Oracle Linux, starting from the container solutions, cloud-native tools, cloud-native environment, Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager, Cluster, Ksplice, virtualization, high availability, Kata containers, Kubernetes. So all of them are part of the Oracle Linux Premier support. Yeah, that said,
just a question we have from the audience, where I can find more information about the OEM capabilities, installation steps, plugins, etc.
Yeah, you have to look for Enterprise Manager 13.4 documentation, and it's part of the virtualization plugin. It's there.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's move forward. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and related to the support, obviously, the supporting that we have at Oracle is dedicated to Oracle Linux and virtualization solution. It's a 24/7 support. We have one unique engineering team today working on our Linux and virtualization solutions. It's a support available on more than 140 countries. So it's the same portal where maybe you already got in touch in the past with other Oracle products. So there is no difference in terms of support or enterprise support for Oracle Linux and virtualization. There is no difference between Oracle Linux and virtualization and other Oracle products in terms of supportability and support interface. Quick recap of the value that we see on the server virtualization at Oracle. Yeah, one of the first things is related to the rapid application deployment of the full software stack. Zero downtime that you can have by Ksplice, and it's something that can be applied to the KVM host, to the management, so the engine, as well as your virtual machines running on top. Enterprise manager integration to have a single pane of class management. The Oracle software certification. So today, all the Oracle teams, all the Oracle product teams are working on top of Oracle Linux KVM while developing their solution, and obviously on top of Oracle Linux while developing their solution. And again, all the requirements that we address into UEK and KVM coming from other teams internally at Oracle, like the Oracle Cloud team, as well as the Oracle Accelerator team. That said, last but not least, I also want to share some community technical articles. So those are articles that have been created by people at Oracle. You can even evaluate to create your own if you want. Some of them are dedicated, for example, to migrations, so how to migrate or how to automate the migration from VMware vSphere or from Oracle VM to Oracle Linux KVM. We have one technical article dedicated to the automation by leveraging Ansible, monitoring, so the monitoring with Oracle Enterprise Manager. Maybe it's also something that could be helpful based on the question that we received before. Use case, so we already had some customers that decided to run Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager as a VDI solution, also due to the specific period or specific pandemic that we are living now. Yeah, and last but not least, the option to deploy and manage Oracle Linux KVM in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, right? Yeah, that said, I would like to thank you so much. I'm also going to give you a quick overview of what I'm talking about. Let me see. Okay. So, yeah, first of all,
yeah. So I forced Simon to show some live demo. So thank you for it.
Yeah. This one is my personal development environment, if you want. And here I have all the features that we talked for OLVM 4.3. So for example, here we have 3 physical servers. As you can see, we have a symbol here. Okay. The gold one means that it's where I'm running the hosted engine. The silver ones are the servers that can guest the hosted engine, so the management solution. And in fact, if I go to the virtual machines, I have one called hosted engine, where I can see that it's running on server 51. And this one obviously can be even migrated to other servers, right? And this is the hosted engine. That said, for the storage, I have the cluster management from here. So this is my cluster volume named the VM store. I can see the bricks, right? All the free servers are leveraging cluster. I can see also the volume options, and I can really manage the cluster from here. I can even edit the options, right, related to cluster. Geo-replication is an option available here, and also it's a supported option with Cluster 6 on Oracle Linux. This is the maybe a very quick overview related to OLVM 4.3 release. The important or the cool thing is that the same solution can run on the cloud. So this is my my own Oracle Cloud. As you can see, I have an OLVM instance and 2 KVM hypervisors. This is the public IP address. So I have 2 different hosts managed by OLVM. And this one is a bare metal host running on the Oracle Cloud. This one is a VM running on the Oracle Cloud, where I have nested hypervisor enabled. It's a huge VM because I have maybe 128 gigabyte of RAM, and I also have NVMe storage available here. The cool option here is that while working on the cloud, you on a bare metal instance, for example, running on the Oracle Cloud, you have you can have more VNICs, right? Those are all VNICs created on my bare metal system on the Oracle Cloud. As you can see, some of them are named VM, just because the cool thing here is that I can leverage SR-IOV, and by SR-IOV, I can get my VMs leveraging the virtual function running on the physical server. So my VM is now leveraging in a pass-through configuration the virtual function on the KVM host. What does it mean? It means that the VM leverage a virtual function on the KVM physical host, and by leveraging that specific virtual function, I can get my own VMs on the Oracle Cloud having a public IP address. So at the end, just to close the loop or to close the possible dots that I'm creating, you have the option to run your own private cloud on the public cloud. This is the option that you can explore while running OLVM and Oracle Linux KVM on Oracle Cloud. As you can see, I have a huge list of VNICs available on the physical server. If I'm not wrong, on a bare metal server, you have the option to run 52 VNICs. And so 52 VNICs means possibly 52 VMs. And this is related to the bare metal system. Another option, if you're going to run KVM and OLVM by leveraging VM shapes, maybe because I do not need 52 or maybe 128 cores, so I need a reduced amount of resources. I also have the option to leverage a VM shape. Here, what really changes is related to how I'm going to leverage the VNICs. This kind of association is not more pass-through, it's port mirroring. And this kind of thing can be seen here on the networking. So the cool point is that I can manage everything from the OLVM interface. I do not need any kind of CLI or custom script to possibly get everything managed. Everything can be done here. So this is the first example. It's related to the bare metal. And this is my VNIC for the bare metal. I enabled the VLAN tag. I declared it as a VM network. If I go to check the profile, I have pass-through, right? This is pass-through configuration for this VNIC. If I check the nested one that is running on the VM, so it's a nested virtualization, you can see that I have port mirroring enabled. Obviously, all those information, like for example, the VLAN tag, the MAC address, the IP address that I'm going to have for my VMs, are supplied by the Oracle Cloud interface. So if I check, for example, VM01, this VNIC created on the Oracle Cloud interface, here I can see the VLAN tag. I can see the public IP address of this VNIC. I can see the full qualified domain name for the VNIC, the internal IP address. And yeah, let's do a very quick example. For example, this is my VM running in a nested configuration. This is the public IP address, right, for this VM. Sorry. This is the public IP address. Now I'm going to share my terminal. And from here, yeah, I'm in the Oracle network, so I have to do this kind of thing. I'm now on my VM running there. I'm now on my VM running on my own private cloud, running in the public cloud. And now here on the Oracle Cloud, I have OLVM and KVM servers all running on the cloud. No one stops me to run OLVM on-prem, managing also KVM on the cloud. I think that, yeah, that's all. If you are interested in this kind of thing, there is a dedicated article on how to set up and how to manage OLKVM on the Oracle Cloud. It's there on the slide deck that is going to be shared with you. Yeah, I think that's all. I also suspect that maybe, Paweł, you were also going to share something with us, right?
Give me a sec. Yes, so just, you know, it's your time today, so I don't want to interrupt, but
Yeah.
just for, let's say, backup and recovery perspective, you should be familiar that also we as a Storware did some additional works from this 4.3 version, and we introduced for the oVirt itself community, but also for the OLVM, a dedicated module. So I don't know if you're all familiar with that. We have our own product called Storware vProtect, which is dedicated for the KVM based environments and more. But just I will still the 2-3 minutes maximum show you that instead of working on the vProtect console itself, instead of looking for some specific virtual machines which can be related to the Oracle VM or the KVM itself. So working, let's find one of the VMs. Doesn't matter on which hypervisor is it. So instead of working here from our console, we have a brilliant opportunity to go into the oVirt or the OLVM actually, and have the option to see some dashboard, see virtual environments. So we can see from here the machines which actually are related to the specific hypervisor, and from here we can start the backup. We can start, so you can choose. We can start the backup, full or incremental, and we can decide it where we can send the data. We added the video, so Visual Data Optimizer file system, which is native for the Oracle Linux and RHEL and CentOS itself. We have a video and KVideo. So you don't need to skip and jump out from the different UIs. You can do everything from here, not only from the task perspective, so we can also see some task policies. We have a dashboard, virtual machines, task console, and right now in 2 weeks I will introduce building the policies and building the schedules, the same like we have in our console. So you will feel the same way how you can build, let's say, create policy or OLVM policy. You can assign then specific machines based on tags, based on specific cluster, or just find a VM that you can actually add from the different hosts. And in the rule, you will decide where to put your data. I said about the video, and you can decide it about the specific schedule. So each release will do more for the oVirt and OLVM community and the Red Hat virtualization. So all of the projects which is based from the oVirt. And we've seen more and more interest in this specific functionality. So just if you're using the OLVM or the oVirt, just contact us. It's free to download, and keep in mind that if you will see let me get rid of my VPN. So keep in mind that we have quite successful free version for the community for the vProtect. So you can start without losing any penny. So the free version gives you the ability to protect 10 virtual machines with all features and with the plugin for the oVirt and OLVM. only one restriction: you will not have our official support, and you will not get the integration with the IBM Dell EMC OVirt. But let's say 99% of the features are in a free, and it's free forever. So there is no a catch here. So please, you know, work as one of thousands our users worldwide, which are using the KVM-based backup based on our solution. I got the question during also the slot, but we have few more to the OLVM, Simon. I just want to emphasize that next webinar will be about the disaster recovery and how to migrate the data into the cloud. So we are preparing with Simon some new slide deck and the demo for you. But today I just want to say that there is a module that can work on the OLVM or the oVirt itself. I can see more questions, so let's go to the QA.